Now here I will see it in the context. Here, what does it mean? You have it here. Yes, need, when you have privation, and this is something that you can find worldwide. For example, in Morocco, people in need, we can talk about poverty, okay? But poverty in the city in Morocco, it's not like poverty in the countryside. Which is, according to you, worse? Poverty in the city or poverty in the countryside? I mean, think of what people in the city have and what people in the countryside have. Of course, the poverty of the countryside is worse. Okay, poverty there, it's something. I mean, we can talk about someone who is poor in the city, but maybe he is poor and still, yeah, he has water at home. He can have electricity, but city is poor. Okay, so yes, but poverty in the countryside is worse. Now here, yes, privation, need, simply poverty, lack of something which is necessary for life, yes. Yes, Huda, good definition. So of course you can write any definition provided that it defines the word as it is used in the text. So remember that we always focus on the context. Okay, now dedicated. Hardworking and dedicated people. Yes. We have many words that are suitable here. Dedicated. And the best way, especially when you come across a word that you have never seen before, please use it in a sentence so that you can remember for a long time. Pay attention, Karima, sincerity or sincere with S. Dedicated, so here some students have mentioned devoted, committed, sorry, double T. Or simply hardworking. Like, for example, thanks, we can say, for example, thanks to the dedication of many doctors and nurses in our hospitals that we can face coronavirus, for example. No, subtle has nothing to do with dedicated. Neither loyal is a little bit far, okay? The best definitions, yes, they don't cheat, possible, devoted, committed, responsible, and sincere. Pay attention, sincere. Many students have misspelled the word sincere. This is how we write sincere with S, and it's C, second word. Could you please switch off your mics? Yeah, Imran, switch off your microphone, please. Now, decay. What does it mean in the text? Environmental decay. Damage. Degradation. Pay attention. The words can mean something. What you have written, yes, but pay attention. You have to remember the context. Degradation, yes. Decadence, yes. Deterioration. We are not in slaves of industry, Yusuf. We are in health. So we understand that you were absent last time, and even when if you were absent in Google Classroom, we mentioned that you have to prepare the text health. We are in the text of health. To remind those who are lost, we are in the text about health for all, a basic need. Abound. Now we look at abound. Forty million people may suffer from the disease. Cancer-causing substances abound. Pay attention to spelling, Karima, with O. Growing. So in a large number, yes, much, proliferate, yes, grow.
Sir, we can't hear you, sir.
Sorry. Thank you for reminding me. I have switched off my mic and I forgot. Yes. So I am here. Remember that the word that you have to use should be placed and the sentence could be correct. For example, if you put it a lot in the place of the word here, cancer causes a lot doesn't work. Though a lot, I understand that you know the meaning, but it means that whatever you write can be put in that context and it'll be okay. Proliferate, yes. Proliferate. That's so we have many possibilities. What matters is that if you put the word or the phrase that you have written in the same context, it'll give a correct sentence. Now, spread. Has made by the rapid spread of epidemic worldwide. Yes, expansion. That's a possibility. It's not distribution, it's expansion. When you distribute, it's something done, a voluntary thing done. But here it can be by itself. Expansion, development, propagation, yes. Also possible. We have many possibilities. Okay. No, wide, no, the word wide does not work here. Wide area, no. The spread, the expansion. Now, paraphrasing. Maybe we will start with the comprehension questions and then we move to paraphrasing, please. Start with this question, comprehension question. Now here, true, you have to say whether the sentences are true or false. And remember, whenever you have questions like that, it goes without saying that you need to justify. If you don't justify, the answer is not accepted. Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes for number one. So true or false, and then you justify. Remember, in the justification, if in the question they don't say in your own words, there is no harm in simply copying the sentence which justify your answer from the text. Like here, for example, it is not mentioned that you have to paraphrase, so no problem, just copy the sentence. I say the sentence, not a paragraph. Many students make the mistake of justifying with the 3, 4, 5 sentences. This is not feasible because they are aware that the answer is somewhere. It's like they said to the teacher, try to find the answer. It's here. No. If you write this way, it's not accepted. So write just what is needed in the answer. Okay? So I'll give you 1 minute. And then you write your answers. First, say whether it is false or true, and in front, justification. Okay? Don't write just false or true, because if you write this way, it's not accepted. In your answer, write please true or false, and in front, your justification. Yes, the others. Mukhtar, your answer has nothing to do with the answer. Many students have answered. Good. So Muhyiddin is good. Yusuf, good. Shayma, good. Fatim Zahra, good. Khadija, good. Razak, so many students have been able to answer. Okay. What did I do here? Okay, so that's a possible answer. Crises. Okay, so remember the word crisis. Maybe you have seen last time. Crisis. Crisis is the singular. Okay, and the plural is crises. So here, E. Okay, now number 2. Now, many students have focused on the date, but they did not pay attention to this. Explain the realization of the who. Did Peter O'Neill write his book to explain the realization of the who? What do you think? So the problem is not in the date. Sorry, we lost connection for a second. Yes, so Dunia has pay attention. It's not the idea of 1983. Um, he he spoke. Diseases. Pay attention to the spelling. Okay, so in this book, pay attention. Though we have 1983. 1983. The date when it was sponsored, but the book was written in 2000. But this is not the issue. The issue is what was the book about? It was not about explaining the realization of the who. Rather, it spoke about the children that the host of new diseases has crept up to the civilized world. Okay, new diseases, new problems, new health problems, and that's what we are witnessing nowadays in Morocco, in the world. The coronavirus is one of those new health problems that we have never in history experienced something like that. Okay, we did not face the same type of virus before. There were, of course, other diseases that look like the one we have now, but this one is new. Yes, so number 2 is false. Okay. Yes, virus with you. Okay. Okay, now number 3. Virus. Pay attention to the spelling of the word virus with you. Now look at number 3, please. Before, many students make mistakes. I know that they know, okay? They make spelling problems because we tend to write very quickly and to send. You have time, okay? I'll give you 2 minutes to write well, but please, before clicking on send, revise. And this is, again, something that I would like to remind you of the problems that we have in the online exam that we have last year. Many students have problems. They send, okay, no revision, and when you don't revise, you leave many mistakes. That's one. Something that I would like please to draw your attention to is that, for example, in the exam you write 2 pages. What happened? Some students send the first page twice, and they forget to send the second page. So, and it's not one student, many students made this mistake. So instead of sending page 1 and sending page 2, they send page 1 2 times or page 2 2 times. And then we are here in front of an exam where we have to revise. I'm sorry, I have lost the connection for a while. Okay, can you please write your answers for number 3? I've lost the connection. Yes, Shayma. So yes, it goes. You don't need even to read the text to be able to answer. So of course the population explosion can lead to more problems. The more you have people, uh, the more you have problems. Complicates the world health problem, and we have more privation, more poverty, more problems. Sorry again, when we lose the connection. Thank you for informing me. In case you don't see my presentation, I'm sharing now. So please inform me in case you cannot hear me or you cannot see my screen. When we lose the connection, we lose also the presentation. Yes, okay. So it's false. Yes, so a lot of people means a lot of problems, a lot of health problems. Yes, now number 4. True or false? Yes, okay, you're right. Uh, Worldwide. And the examples of coronavirus is a good example. Uh, Coronavirus was spread because of the movement of the population. Many say that it was, we don't know whether it's China. Well, most people say that it started in China, in Wuhan. So the movement of the population from China, and now it's very easy to travel. It's not like in the past. In the past, traveling by plane was a privilege for rich people. Nowadays, you can travel. I mean, even if you are middle class, it's possible for you to travel thanks to convenience, and it's traveling by plane is cheaper nowadays. I don't know whether you have an idea how much you have to pay if you want to travel by plane nowadays. Let's say from Morocco to Spain or to France by plane. How much you think you pay in low cost? I'm not talking about normal. I'm not talking about traveling low cost. I don't know whether you know what they mean by low cost planes. Do you have an idea what do you mean by low cost planes? Low-cost planes. Do you know what does it mean? What does it mean, low-cost planes? I'm sure that you have, some of you maybe have used them, or members of the family. Yes, it's not, we're talking about traveling in Morocco. Traveling outside Morocco, that's companies, Khadija has explained, companies that offer cheaper prices. I'm talking about airline companies that offer. Is La Ram a low-cost company? La Ram. No. Do you know any name of low-cost companies? Yes, Khadija. EasyJet. Easy. EasyJet. Jet for you have disappeared. Yes, it existed before. Jet, by the way, it is written this way for you, but it doesn't exist anymore. It was bankrupt. That was a Moroccan company. Air Arabia, yes. Yeah, La Ram. Yeah, we are talking about, but Ram, yeah, Rami. We know that it is Moroccan, but La Ram is not a low-cost plane. It's not a cheap company. Okay, EasyJet, and one which is used a lot by Moroccans now to go to Europe. If you have members of the family who are traveling, you can see that people who live in France, in Spain. Ah, yes, Jawad, Ryanair. Ryanair. This is the most famous one is Ryanair, which is you can use in Morocco, and it's not a Moroccan company. It's an Irish company, maybe number one in low cost. They are not expensive at all. Okay, maybe you'll be surprised. Fly Dubai. I don't know whether it's. I have never used. I don't know. Maybe, but these are the one I know. Jet for you doesn't exist anymore. It was a Moroccan company, disappeared. Is it just we have Air Arabia? We have now. You'd be surprised. Ah, 200 euros. Now I yes. Now that's something that shows how 30 euros from Casablanca to Barcelona. Can you imagine? It's the equivalent of 300 dirhams. And I have myself traveled to Spain, now 500 dirhams or less. I have traveled with 250 dirhams from Morocco to Spain. And I have traveled with 250 dirhams from Spain to France. Can you imagine? Sometimes you can travel in Morocco by train from the north to the south and you pay more. Now, this is by plane. Can you imagine? By plane, 250 dirhams. And the first time that I have used it was Ryanair. First time that I have used it, I told myself maybe it's not true. But when I have gone there, yes, the plane exists, and it's a plane. By the way, it's not a bus; it's a plane. It's not expensive because for many reasons. It's like, for example, there are no services. They don't give you food in the plane. If you want food, you have to pay. If you want water, you have to pay. Okay. There is no first class. there, but it's very convenient, and I think this has democratized traveling by plane. Traveling by plane, uh, yes, Dawir, Mukhtar is giving us a good example. When you have a problem of Eid just during feasts in Morocco, sometimes you take the bus or a taxi, you have to pay 300, 200 dirhams. So can you imagine traveling to another country? And even there are possibilities now. Maybe when you finish the course, you can go to the site of Ryanair, EasyJet, and they'll be surprised about the prices. And even you have very surprising prices between European countries. You can travel from France to Italy with 15, let's say 150 dirhams or 200 dirhams. And that's why people in Europe travel a lot. They go to spend a weekend in another country because it's not expensive. And you can even reserve hotel, etc. When you reserve using internet, you can find very interesting prices. Something again I would like to share with you. I have once spent some days in Lisbon and in Portugal, and you'd be surprised how much I paid in a hotel. How much you think you can spend a night in a hotel? It's not a 5 stars hotel. Okay, it's a normal hotel. How much you think you have to pay in the capital of Portugal? How much I have paid? 40 euros. That's a possible suggestion. I have paid 150 dirhams for the night. Can you imagine how it is? It is very, very cheap. And this thanks to internet. Now that's why, again, this is an advice that I'm giving you in case you want for the night, 150 dirhams for the night. Yes, but of course, I was with two of my colleagues. We participated in a conference, and we were three. We took a room for three beds. Okay, and why it is not expensive? For a simple reason, you don't have your bed for you in the same room. Okay, you have the bed in the hall. It can be used by others, but it is no problem because it is clean. The room is clean, and the hotel is in the center of the city, in the most important street in the city, close to metro station. And here, if you want to reserve a room in a hotel, even in Morocco, by the way, this is something that many don't do. Don't go up to the hotel and look for a room because you'll pay more expensive. It'll be more expensive. Reserve on websites like Booking or eBooking online. Why online? Because there is competition and you can pay the same room. Try it. If you go to the hotel, you'll pay more. If you book online, you pay less because of competition and because you can compare prices. This is just a side discussion to help you if you want to travel. And of course, if you want to travel abroad, then online, reserve your tickets of the plane online, or your hotel. You can have very cheap places. You compare and you go to the cheapest place, and you can see the picture of the place. By the way, you can see the picture of the room, how it is, and you are not surprised when you go there. You can see where it is situated. That's very important when you travel abroad. Okay, you can find something cheap, but it is far away from the city and you don't have a car. That's a big problem. So you have to make sure that it is close to bus, close to the metro station, so that you don't spend money in transport, a lot in transportation. Now, number 5, true or false, please. Yes, good. Now you see here, the goal for of health for all seems out of reach. But simply, we have many people all over the world that cannot find. It's not just in Morocco, by the way. Morocco has made big progress, though we complain, would like Morocco to be better. Of course, we have not solved all our problems. We have still have problems in health, in education, but no one can deny that a big progress has made. And if you want to know whether there was a progress, look at documentaries of Morocco just 20 years ago. You can find, and you can compare just the way people used to dress, what they used to eat. Ask your parents, ask your grandparents how life was, and you can realize that life was I mean, Morocco was underdeveloped 20 or years ago, and there was a big development in Morocco. Though those who are born, who are still young, who are 20 years old, they cannot compare because they have not lived before. So ask your parents, your grandparents, and you'll see that a lot have changed. So health for all seems something we are not part of the third world countries, by the way, Fatim Zahra. Pay attention. Morocco is a developing country. We are not part of the third world countries. We used to be. Okay, so we are not a developed country. Yes, we are not like France, United States, but for example, compared to most of African countries, we are among the first three developed countries in Africa, which is a big deal. I mean, ask why many of some African countries come to Morocco. They would like to go to Europe, and they stay. They end up staying in Morocco because they find that living in Morocco is better than in their countries. Okay. And I have met once someone from Nigeria, and you know, Nigeria, they have oil, and still they have problems. They have, and I told him how many years have you been here? So because he is from Nigeria, he speaks English, and he said that he's been here for 3 years. And they say, how do you live? And they say, by begging. So just asking people to help. And I say, is it not better to go back home? He say, no, begging in Morocco is better than living in my country. Can you imagine? So a country that has oil like Nigeria, and you have people leaving their country to look for a better life. So we have problems of democracy, problems of wars, problems of injustice. Well, maybe we have more than oil. What do we have, Yusuf? You know, how can you know the situation? We have phosphate, yes, but phosphate is not like oil. Still, we cannot say that we are a rich country, but we are a developing country. I'm sorry to disagree with you, Fatim Zahra, but I think that Morocco is developing. We are not still a developed country, hopefully, but we are in the process. If we go on, quicker maybe than that, I think we will the situation will be better. We have agriculture, which is very important. Yes, it's not if having oil does not mean that you can be developed by the way. So we have our neighbors, Algeria, for example. They have gas, they have oil, but still they they have big problems. All right, so we hope that Morocco in the near future will be a developed country. And something that we are sure of is that Morocco is much more developed than 20 years ago. No one can disagree with me in this way. As I told you before, just ask your parents and your grandparents about how life used to be. Now, we move to question B, please. Answer the following questions according to context in your own words. Now here, in your own words. Now here, you use your own words. So I give you a few minutes to write your answers. Make sure that you are not repeating words that you have exact words or sentences, exact sentences from the text. So is it optimistic or pessimistic, and why? Or how? Yes, so pessimistic, but how? Pessimistic is the opposite of optimistic. Yes. Waiting for the answers of a big number of students so that we can give a chance to everyone to answer. We're talking about health. Pay attention, health conditions. So I have not spoken yet, waiting for you to big number of answers. So how to reach the full health? Yes. Negative impact. Talked about negative impact on the word's health. We can talk about new diseases that he mentioned. Epidemics. Epidemic, sorry. An epidemic or epidemic like or pandemic like what we have concerning coronavirus. Okay, so yes, the image he draws is mainly pessimistic, and well, we may agree or disagree with him. Uh, Talking about demographic growth, this is what is said by many people. They say all our problems are due to the fact that people have we have many people in this world. Okay, Personally, I think it's the problem. It's not really the demographic growth. It's not the demographic growth, because our Earth can. We have a place for everyone in this Earth. It's still big for us. But what is the problem is the unfair distribution of the riches. That's the main problem. Personally, I think that's the unfair distribution of wealth. Distribution of wealth is the cause of all the problems that we have, including health problems, of all our problems. You know, developed countries, which are the most, the strongest countries from the economic point of view, from the military, especially the military point of view, developed countries constitute 20% of the world population, and they consume 80%. 80% of the riches of the world, whereas 80% of the world is underdeveloped, and what is left for them is just 20%. Because what happens when you are strong, the countries that are strong, what they do is that they take the riches of poor countries, because they cannot defend their countries. And that's what's happening in all underdeveloped countries. And they can have, minimum they do is that they sell their products in your country. For example, if we take the example of Morocco, it's not surprising to see that all the big projects are for France. It's not by chance. We have here some political constraints that impose on us that whatever any important project, it is for France. For example, the TGV, the Moroccan TGV. I mean, the Chinese, we could buy a Chinese train, and it's less expensive than the French one. But still we can't, because for political reasons, our ally is France, and it's not China. Okay. So, but according to the author, the growth of, but of course, I mean, we cannot disagree 100% with the author. Yes, when you have a big number of people, and then we have unfair distribution of riches, and this can cause problems. Okay, when you have a big, it's like you have a family, you have a father who does not work, and he has 10 children. Can you imagine what happens to this family? It will be very, very poor. Okay, so having a lot of children while you are poor make it worse. But if you are rich and you have many children, that means that you can increase the richness. Okay. So we say the sentence, maybe I told you this before, that the rich get richer. Yes, and the poor, what did we say if we have said it before? And the poor, can you complete the sentence? Poorer, sounds logic, but get children. You did not remark that rich people don't have many children. You can find a husband and wife living in a villa, and they have a dog or a cat. They don't even have a child. Opposite, you can have a very poor family and they have 10 children. Why, in your opinion, poor people have many children in Morocco? No, it's not a question because it is given for free. Contraception pills are given for free in Morocco. It means that those who want children, they have them because they want them. It's a decision.
Can I talk, teacher?
Yes.
I saw in a documentary they explain why poor people have more children because when a person is poor, they think that they have access to healthcare when they're grown up, and they think that one of their children will take care of them when they're grown up.
Yes.
That's why they
You're
have a lot
right.
of children because if they have just one, he can not he can go away or not take care of them if when they grow old. But
Mhm.
if they have many children, at least one of them will be there for them.
You're right. Definitely right. So it's a kind of investment. And especially poor families, especially when you have a father who does not have a retirement, does not have a health insurance, etc. So he thinks that when he'll be old, if he have many children, at least will be one or two who can take care of them, and it's logical, okay, to do that. In the case where the state does not take care of old people, in many cases. But thanks God, things are again changing, and we have more and more people who have health insurance. We hope that in the near future, all Moroccans would have health insurance. At least when you are ill, you can go to hospital, uh, and at least and also having a retirement. Because in many jobs in Morocco, if you work, you can get money, but if you don't work, you get nothing. And that's a big problem because in many situations, you can be ill. You can imagine a taxi driver, for example, as long as he is working, he gets money. But when he is ill, it's a big problem. So, mean that here, decision makers have to think about this category of people and to help in having a retirement when they are old and when they cannot work and when they are ill.
Sir,
Okay.
can I say my opinion?
Yes, of course.
It, well, I see that like rich people, they're more like we all know rich people. All of them are well educated, and that's one of the reason why they think wisely. And they wanted to have less children and provide them all the facilities and give them like a good future when it comes to their health, their education, their needs, everything. So it's like they have a vision, future for the future, how they wanted their children to be. Unlike
Uh-huh.
poor people, they don't. In my opinion, they don't have that vision. That the more they have less children, the more they can control and educate them and raise them properly. I think
You're right.
education is very important. It's playing a big part on this.
Yes. Well, no one will disagree with you, but just remember that it's people who create richness. Okay,
Exactly.
countries that are developed, they have many people, they have a population, a numerous people. So United States, when you talk about United States, you talk about millions. It's a huge country with many people, Japan. And in those countries, they don't say to their, especially in Japan, they don't say to people, don't have children. In contrast, they encourage people to have children because it's three. Yes, now the number is given here. Muhyiddin says we have 300 million people in USA. You see, can you imagine? It's a huge country. And when you have its population that can create richness, all right? So it's very difficult for a country which is a small country to be developed with a population which is very small, even if it is rich, because you need people, you need minds. And this, when you have millions of people living in one country, at least you have some who are smart enough to take the right decisions, to create, to invent, etc. So I'm coming back to the statement I have said before. The question of underdevelopment, of poverty, is not due to the population growth. It's rather due to the fact that there is a minority of some people in some countries that take everything and leave nothing to the others. So if there was a good distribution of this richness, we will not have poverty. And we, instead of saying to people, don't have children, we'll say, please have children. And this is what they do in Europe, in France, etc. They encourage and they give even money to people so that they can have children. And they give to mothers the right to stay at home and to be paid if she has children. And you know what happens in those rich countries? They don't have children, though they encourage them. Who has children? The Moroccans who are living in France. And the Moroccans who are living in Norway, it's them who get more children. Again, to other reasons, to those societies that have become that are individualistic. People has grown up to be egoistic, selfish, living for oneself, not wanting to get responsibility. And instead of, they think, if they prefer to live, a man can live with a woman without having children, without being married first, because they say, okay, I am living with her, and one day when I don't like her, when maybe she grows old, I will leave her and go with another woman. Same for women in Europe. Many prefer to live like that. And so they don't want children, because children means responsibility. And that's why Europe is growing older. And this is very negative for Europe. And they are aware of that. So how they solve their problem? They solve their problem with immigrants. So immigrants are providing them with young people which can work and which are now in many positions of responsibilities, and which are now working in many fields. And just think of the Moroccan now who is in the United States working for the coronavirus vaccine. Is Moroccan Slawi. And it's a pity that a Moroccan, instead of being in Morocco, is working elsewhere. That's how. So United States, 300 million people, and still, that's what we call brain drain. It's like they, of course, they accept for immigration people they need. So if you are a smart person, if you are an engineer, if you are an intellectual person, if you know to do something, if you have a know-how, they will adopt you very quickly, and they give you the nationality in a very short time. Okay, and that's why it will be very difficult for us to compete with them, because they encourage all the smart people in the world to live in their countries, and that's why it's very difficult to compete with countries like United States, like UK, like France, etc. The consequence is the brain drain. Okay, we come back to our question. Number 2. Which category? Yes, this question, waiting for your answers. And now here you have to justify why. Yes. The others. Which category of the population is most threatened by diseases and why? 2 minutes. Of course, anyone who has his answer can write it. Pay attention so that you don't confuse rural with rural is the opposite of urban. Yes. So what does it mean, rural? Some answers I found that I know that most of you know the answer, but yes, those living in the country side. Yes, and urban. Yes. Cities. Yes. Okay, now, which category of the population Mukhtar, pay attention. We say which category of the population. We're talking about a category of the population. So here I'm picking up one answer. Though there are many good answers. So poor people in general yeah, when you are poor and you are living in the countryside, so your situation, or in general poor nations, because they cannot face all right. So poor, when you belong to poor category of society, poor nations in general will be threatened by disease simply because they cannot face. To face diseases, you need hospitals, you need doctors, you need nurses, you need medicines, and this costs money. Okay? And if you are not rich enough, it will be very difficult for you to face this. Okay, so I think we will stop here. So next time we will go on with number 3, etc., and also paraphrasing questions which we have not done. I would like you please to prepare for next time also. So far we have done the text of mothers, text of courage, and now health. Inshallah, we'll finish next time. I would like you to prepare walking for pleasure for next time. Okay, walking for pleasure. Do it. Answer all the questions for next time. All right. Thank you very much. Yes, you have a question? Imran, yes, your question, please. Imran, you say that you have a question?
Yes, sir. I have a question, please.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because you said that traveling to Europe costs only 250. Can we travel to Europe as students?
Yes, now here you are talking about another difficulty, which is visa procedures. You're right. But I'm talking about the cost of traveling. You can travel with 300, 400, 500 dirhams. Now it's possible. It depends if you book in advance. But I understand that it's difficult for you as a student to travel because of visa. Now here the problem is not in the cost of transportation, but in the visa procedures, and it will be very difficult to get a visa when you are a student unless you want to study and you give proofs that you are studying abroad.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you very much. See you then. Don't forget, prepare working for pleasure, and we try to finish the text of health next time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.